Purchasing a home is the largest investment most of us will ever make, and having a knowledgeable real estate professional is essential to guide you through that process. Devern Augustus, a real estate agent at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Premier Properties, is here to explain some costly mistakes that we should avoid when buying your first home. Welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Well, I'm happy to have you because for anybody buying their first home, it is quite a process. So what you always want to make sure that you have on your corner is somebody you can trust, somebody that's going to lead you through that. So we appreciate you taking on that role.
Indeed. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So for people that want to make sure everything goes smoothly, what are some costly mistakes that we should be looking out for and trying to avoid?
You know, and you're right, there are several. A few of the big ones would be, well, first, not having a game plan that is really clear on what you're comfortable paying monthly and what's essential to have in your home versus what would be nice to have in your home, because when things kind of get heated up in negotiation, you could maybe find yourself paying too much or missing out on a home that would just really fit your needs really, really well. There's also first-time home buyer incentives. It can be a big mistake to ignore those. And excuse me, first-time home buyers.
You know, I've found that some of the older generation is used to saying you have to have 20% down to buy a new home, and that's not always the case anymore, right? So
no.
Make sure you have a good relationship with your bank as well.
That is true. That is true. So of course, pre-approval is one of the areas you can make a big mistake. And you know, there's this myth out there that going directly to the listing agent is a way to get a better deal. And probably the biggest mistake of all is not doing the inspection, skipping that inspection. I mean, that can be costly into the tens of thousands of dollars. And one of the biggest fears that most people have, most buyers, is buying a home that has something wrong with it. The best way to avoid that problem is just to do that inspection.
Oh, goodness. And I do want to dig in on a few of those because they are vitally important. For one thing, the pre-approval. Why is the pre-approval so important?
Well, it really says that you are a serious buyer. You know, and a lot of people think that maybe there is an upfront cost to that, and there's not. There's not an upfront cost to your pre-approval. And, you know, many, if not most, sellers, they're not even going to entertain an offer from a buyer who hasn't taken the few minutes it takes to get pre-approved. That pre-approval not only says you are serious, it shows that you are qualified to make that purchase if your offer gets accepted. One other caveat on that is to talk to more than one lender, because just like negotiating, you can save money on your loan if you're comparing loan offers.
You know, buying a home can be a very personal thing because you have a lot of emotions involved or thinking about how it's going to affect your family, but we always need to remember this is business, so everybody is a part of the process between the bank and real estate agents and things like that. So it's important, like you said, to not go directly to the listing agent. Why is that? Well,
again, that myth out there is that you can save money or get a leg up in negotiation if you go directly to the listing agent, and that is a myth. It's just not true. The listing agent has a fiduciary responsibility to their client, who is the seller, to get them the best deal possible. And that best deal is going to be the most money for their home. And you know, when the listing gets put together, all of those professional fees are agreed upon up front. So affecting those in negotiations, it's just not going to happen because that part's done. So really, when a buyer goes directly to the listing agent, all that they're really doing is ensuring that nobody is out there working on their behalf, in their corner, for their best interests.
You know, one of the biggest things that we've talked about, and I've learned from working with you guys, is that you always want to make sure that you are represented by someone that you trust. We mentioned it in the beginning, but it is the biggest lesson, I think. And of course, you know, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Premier Properties is that agent. It's the group that you can trust. You'll connect people with the right resources. You'll give them the guidance they need when purchasing a home, because not all of us do it every day. So obviously, Devern Augustus is the person that you do want to contact, and his information is right there on the screen. So thank you so much for joining us, Devern.
Yeah, thanks so much.
And if somebody wants to talk to you directly, where can they find you?
I'm an easy guy to get a hold of. You can call or text directly at 509-701-2002, or you can email me at devern@me.com.
Fantastic. And if you want to stay with us, coming up next, we're going to be learning how to navigate charcoal as a medium for art.